Good. It was a good week, man. Yeah, a lot of energy. I thought guys were locked in all week, and I love day 3 because we get to do a little bit more compete period. So going one-on-ones, and it kind of feels like that full speed game speed, and saw both sides of the ball making plays. So it was good.
You're finding Tim out there a lot today in practice.
Yeah, I try to find Tim as much as I can. He's a guy that when the ball's in his hands, he's very dangerous. So obviously, gonna try to get him into the offense as quickly as we can. Just let the game play out though.
When you're playing with a receiver who as talented as him and as accomplished as he's been in this league, and he's going through a tough phase, what can you as a quarterback do, to try to help him get out of that?
Yeah, I think to me it's a big deal not to bring it up, right? Like not going there like, hey, let's have a talk about this, or let's talk about why this is happening. I saw Tom Brady. I don't know, he was on a podcast or something, and he must have been talking about one of the playoff games, like the Ravens 49ers, I think, because he was like, my job as a quarterback, and one thing I always wanted to do was I wanted to get my best players the ball early. He's like, so if I'm the 49ers, I'll get Christian the ball first. I'm getting Debo the ball second. He's like, it's obviously easier when they're slot receivers, they're closer to you. So, having the ability to get that guy the ball and him being close in proximity, just it's one of those things like you get a guy the ball right away, kind of gets tackled, like kind of locks you in. Like that's one thing I've always talked about. I've talked about that with Mike Riley a little bit. It's, you get tackled that first time, that somehow just kind of locks you into the game. So, obviously we're gonna throw to the open guy and trust the read and trust the process there, but get your guys the ball and help them get locked in.
And you say you're dealing with a veteran receiver. You don't need to teach the game to him.
Yeah, I just I think it gets overhyped a little bit, right? Like I don't think Tim had the fastest start to the season last year either, and then. Yeah, you just us as a team didn't either, right? So he's not the only guy that started slow, and when he gets his opportunities, he's going to make plays, and he's going to, like I said earlier, it's going to be a blip by the end of the season.
No James Butler this week. Does that put a little bit extra pressure on his backup and maybe you just as the offense in turn?
Yeah, it puts obviously not pressure but opportunity, right? For Bell, he's got an opportunity to go out there and make his first kind of name for himself. I'm excited, man. The guy can play. Obviously we're going to miss James. I think he's the best, if not one of the best, backs in the league, and a guy that has an amazing ball carry vision, and that's something that kind of develops, especially in the professional game. And the biggest thing is just hey, stay locked in to every play, like good play, bad play. Like don't come back to the huddle, overexcited or oversad, right? Like just come back even keel, and I think he's a professional about that. So definitely excited to see him.
I know the goal is to score in every possession.
Mm-hmm.
Defense giving up 30-plus points. Is there extra emphasis on getting as many points as possible, especially early in the game?
I think in this building, what we talk about is we got to score one more than they do, and I think defense talks they got to let up one less than we score, right? So whether they're giving up, obviously would I love for them to throw a shutout? Yeah, but I'm sure they'd love us to throw at 50, right? So I'll let them stay in their film room and focus on that, and I'll focus on my side of the ball and what I can control. And I think that's kind of game dependent. You don't think, all right, I got to go in this game thinking about pushing the ball downfield. You gotta kind of take the game as it comes.
Well, I know you threw 46 pass attempts last week, right? Something thereabouts. I know part of that's because you guys were behind the game, but also the run pass balance was different. I know that's part of what the defense is showing you. As a quarterback, what's the experience like when you're throwing the ball that often?
Make sure that you're doing the right things as far as supplementing the run game, right? Like there's different ways to get run game, whether that's screens, whether that's speed sweeps, whether that's taking shorter routes like slants, hitches, things like that. Trying to create that first down efficiency and just moving the ball so you have second medium, second short, not second long all the time.
Right.
I think it's a big deal to make sure that you're still playing the game and taking it as it comes.
So if you can't establish that with a run, you've got to replace it with a play that's going to get you in the same position as an efficient run play.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cool.
One last for you.
Yep.
There was so much speculation about you coming back here and the decision that did seem unlikely at the end of last year.
Yeah.
How do you feel you performed the first 3 weeks of the season?
Not good enough. I think there was a lot of hype. Obviously, first game with Calgary, and then second game with Stats, but it was still 2 losses, and then going to the third game, just trying to do too much and putting the ball in harm's way, which is something in this offense you just can't do. So I would say, improving for sure, but just not good enough.